my name is Willem. Welcome to LRDX Cars. If you're new to the channel, I mostly review sports cars, supercars, luxury cars. And today's video is quite a special one. It's a classic one like you see behind me. It's a cool Porsche 356 Speedster. And it actually belongs to my dad. I'm gonna be honest about that. And it's not a real one, it's a replica car. But I think it's still as cool as an original one. It looks the same. I'm gonna take you around the exterior, interior, and then make a small test drive in this cool Porsche 356 Speedster. And I also want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, because this video will drop about in the weekend that it's Father's Day here in Belgium. So enjoy watching the video, guys. I'm gonna quickly take you here around the exterior, because yeah, it's quite a good looking one. It's actually the first production Porsche that was ever built. I'm going to tell a bit story about Porsche in a minute while we're behind the wheel. But yeah, like I said, it's not a real one. It's a replica car, but it looks as cool as a real one. It's actually based on the chassis of a Volkswagen Beetle, and the engine is also from a Beetle, but yeah, they put the body on of a real Porsche 356 Speedster. The Porsche Speedster, yeah, a very loved car, still drives around. It says enough about the quality, I think, of the older Porsches. Very cool cars to take a look at, and still look very sporty and a bit elegant, timeless design. The shapes in there are beautiful. I think everybody likes those shapes. I'm parked up here for just a couple of minutes, and I already get a lot of views and smiles from people that see this car. And yeah, I can get why it's very cool. It was actually my dad's dream car. My dad's first car was a Volkswagen Beetle. I also got the chance to drive that one when I just got my driver license. It was quite a fun one to drive, the Beetle. And yeah, he's kept it since he was 18 years old, so it's quite cool that he has done that. And then, yeah, of course, his dream car was a Porsche. It's the next step if you're a Volkswagen guy. But yeah, to actually buy one of these, the real Porsche 356s, either it's a Coupe, Speedster, or a cab model, they're all quite expensive. I think 150,000 euros at least. So yeah, that's quite a lot. My dad is also just a working guy like a lot of you guys are. So yeah, he actually couldn't afford it. And that's where this car came in. It's a replica car, like I said. It will cost you about 50,000–60,000 euros, so a bit better affordable. And yeah, it looks just as the same as the old cars, but it actually isn't that old. I think this car was built around beginning of the 2000s, the end of the 1990s. And yeah, you can still, it's still an old-timer here in Belgium, because like I said, it's based on a Volkswagen Beetle, the chassis and the engine. And yeah, it's quite a cool one. I'll take you a bit around here. On the first gens of the 356s, you had like the split window. On this model that came a bit later, I think these ones are based around the 1963 cars. You have like the full window. There are some changes. And on the bumper you also have different types you can go for. If you want to like have like the fog lights, if you want to have like the lights covered off like you here see. Beautiful mesh underneath. Looks quite cool. And yeah, there's are all different variants. The 356s were like in production for about 17 years, so it's quite a long time. And yeah, you of course had a lot of development in there. They first came out with the 1100cc engine, I think it just had like 40, 50 horsepower, something like that. Then they gone to the 1300cc engine and even a 1600cc engine, where this car is actually based on. The 1600cc models had like the flat 4 engine, of course, like you had in the Volkswagen Beetle. And then yeah, the 1600 variant pushed out like 90 horsepower, so a bit more. But actually in this car, because it's a replica car, you have like a 1900cc engine in there. With about also 90 to 100 horsepower, because it's from a Beetle engine. But those engines you can't destroy. Actually, it's a thing that my dad always says, this Beetle still driving around, this car still driving around. We just got it out of the garage for the first time this year, and yeah, after some startups, I think 3-4, the car was already going, the engine was running, so no worries or complaints about the Volkswagen engines, very good ones even. Then on the rear, cool design element is these sort of a tear shape of rear lights. They got in the design in 1957, so if you have a car from before, it will have maybe different rear lights. I think it's just a round one or 2 round ones even. And then also on the exhaust you have some different changes. You see them with these exhausts. You also have like the 2 in the center next to each other, or even 1 I have seen. So yeah, that's I think that difference with the newer or the older models. When they came out, I think it was like 1948, the first Speedster design came out. They called it like the standard 356. Then the 356A came a couple of years, then the B, then the C model. But you could always choose between a coupe version, if you want to have like a full closed-off car, a cab version. It has a bit of a different design here on the rear. It's maybe easier to close off the roof. And then this one, the Speedster. So yeah, it's quite a cool one. I will talk more about the Speedster when we're driving it. And I think it looks very good, guys. What do you think about it? A cool classic car, always looks very good. And I think the Porsches, like this, the 356, the earlier 911s, are always winning. So you have like a small storage space here on the front, not that big. I'm not going to show it to you, because you can put maybe like 1 bag in. And your battery to charge it up, of course. Then on the inside you have these, you see it a bit on the inside that it's a newer car, beautifully done tan leather, matches quite well with the sort of green color you have on the outside. And then some gold details like the Porsche badge here, nice wooden steering wheel, just simple clusters where you have like RPM in the center that doesn't even work anymore, like you always have on the classics. Some nice issues with it that don't even matter as long as the car drives. Then the speedometer. You see my dad hasn't driven the car that much, only 5,300 kilometers on. And then here to let you know if the car is hot and how much fuel capacity is left. These one are for your lights, and of course yeah, to start the car up, handbrake in the middle. It's a 4-speed gearbox, so you only have 4 gears, but yeah, it doesn't really matter, because the car, I think the top speed will be 140 kilometers an hour, a bit like 90 miles an hour. So it's not about fast drive, but we'll check that out. The engine is of course placed here, right behind the rear wheels, like you always have on the cool Porsches and the Volkswagen Beetle. That's what they are known for, the Porsches. For a good yeah, handling on the road. And yeah, we'll see about that. Let's get behind the steering wheel, let's get a bit driving, and then we can talk a bit further about how Ferdinand Porsche even got started to build this beautiful car. I'm gonna get myself in. Quite nice. I'm gonna take you a bit with me on this process, so sorry if the camera is a bit shaking. The car is quite low down to the ground. Of course, a nice, good sound. Then I'm gonna put my belt on. that you can also have a listen to this beautiful car. The belt quickly on. It's quite a fun belt. It's just like that, single one you have on the older cars. Then of course put on the clutch and listen to that, guys. Doesn't that sound great? Yeah, now sitting here, guys, in this beautiful Speedster. Let's go for a nice drive in this cool car. Quite looking forward to it, to see how the car handles, and yeah, let's enjoy the drive with me, guys. Here we go. Like I said, just a 4-speed gearbox, but a nice sound here. Flat 4 engine, look, it sounds quite good. And let's go for a nice drive. And let's talk a bit about the history of Porsche. Porsche himself, Ferdinand Porsche. A guy from Austria, and yeah, he was a mechanic, and yeah, he was into engineering, and he loved building cars. I think he started by working at Mercedes-Benz. He had some very good projects at Mercedes-Benz. But listen to that, guys. That's great. Action fly is very good. He then got to work for VW. He got to the VW group. He built then the most iconic car I think ever built, the Volkswagen Beetle. That was a big success. That's where he got his starting money from. Then he finally got to build cars he actually loved, sports cars. And then actually his son, Ferry Porsche, he designed this, the 356. In 1948 it came out. It was a very big success. I think everyone that got a bit of money back then, or was a bit movie star or a singer or an actor or anything like that, they got one, they loved it, just because good driving, and yeah, it was a car that was a bit out of this world because of the engine in the back. It had such good handling that yeah, everybody was a bit surprised by it, everybody wanted one, and it also won a lot of prizes at racing championships. I think the Targa Floria it won many times. I think the 24 Hours of Le Mans it won. Funny is, even did like some rally racing and it even won that. So in all championships, or in all classements, the Porsche 356 really was a very good and loved car. Everybody wanted one. And yeah, I can get why, but it still looks good till this day. Still drives well, so I only can imagine what it would be like in 1960 if we would drive a car like this. It's quite fun. And yeah, great sound to it. It only is a small engine, a 4-cylinder, a flat 4, just right behind me to keep a good center point of gravity. But yeah, it doesn't need much more than this. It only got 90 horsepower, you would think. 90 horsepower, what I'm gonna do with that. But the car only weighs, I think, 850 kilos. So yeah, that's very light, 850 kilos. Don't think there is any car still now available for that weight point. Even the Alpine that I drove is heavier. And yeah, all those reasons. The car was lightweight, had the engine in the middle, good center point of gravity. So yeah, kept itself really good going even in the corners. And yeah, the 0 to 100 I don't even know. Don't think it's that fast, maybe under 10 seconds. I don't know. What a great sounding engine, I think. That's a cool thing with the older cars, that they have such a good sound to it. And I quite like it, the shifting. It's only 4 gears, so don't need to shift that much, but that's quite fun. Yeah, really put the smile in my face, this car. That's what it's about. The classics, still keeping the passion breathing, still keeping all the car lovers smiling when you see one passing. Yeah, the 356, like I was talking about, was actually a very big success. It was from 1948, I think, till 1965 into production. You can choose yourself if you want a Speedster like this, a Cab model or a Coupe, but I would of course take this one, the Speedster, because it looks so cool. And it was actually built for the American market, for California mostly. Because of the good weather, like it is now today, the sun is out, perfect, you can have the wind in your ears, you can hear the engine right behind you, that's what you want. I think most of the people in Belgium, or in Europe even, they would choose of course the Coupe model, because yeah, it's not always the best weather here in Belgium, but I think now if you would pick one, of course, it's like an old-timer, it's a car you have as a second car, and you will of course choose to have a Cab model or a Speedster model like this. But that's where it was mostly introduced for. And I think it still drives very well, guys. I think it's smooth, the gearbox, the steering is it's quite direct. It's of course no power steering or anything like that you have nowadays, but yeah, it's nice to drive, actually very nice. Quite love it even, to have just the feeling of the car on the road shaking. I think as petrolheads we like that, that's why we want sports cars, that's why we like to race, that's why we love classics, because you have like the feedback of the car and it really gives it to you. Till 1965 it was in production. You had like the A model, the B model and the C model, they called it. It's like some changes on the exterior. The engine that got bigger, like I thought, from the 1100 till the 1300, till the 1600 engine even. And then of course the 911 came, because yeah, this sold that good. I think in total, of all the Coupe, Speedster and Cab models, they sold about 76,000 cars. So believe me, that's quite a lot, guys, for the sports car back in the day. You would imagine that the world population is of course a lot grown since then, and yeah, I think the new Speedster model is also a limited one. And I think the number of Speedsters that are now built, the new 911 Speedster, is about the same as with this 356 Speedster. Because of course most of the people wanted to have the Coupe model or the Cab model because it's more practical for daily use. Back in the day people were actually daily drivers because they drove that well. and I can get why it still drives quite good now. The car actually goes to 5,500 RPMs, so it's also not the highest, but you can hear it, it's quite good. Another fun thing maybe to say is on the earlier cars, actually when they started to build, the Porsche 356 in 1948, because like I said, he is from Austria, Ferdinand Porsche. They first started to build the car in Austria themselves. It was an aluminium body. And then when the production moved to Stuttgart, where of course the Porsche factory is still now till this day, they were built with a steel body, the 356, so only the first 2 years of production they got an aluminium body, and now later on, the last 15 years or so from the car, it was all steel bodies, so that's quite fun. Now let's enjoy a bit this drive. Told you a bit about the history of Porsche. And he also got a dream, and he followed his dream and his passion to build cars. Of course, this Porsche wasn't his first project. But I saw it with Pagani. He also worked for Lamborghini first. I think that's how it goes. You first start with knowledge from some other guys, like I watch car videos from other guys to learn from them, and with that knowledge and with that experience you can go further. And I think there is a picture in the Porsche Center of Knokke. It's like sort of an art piece, and it says, "What if the 911 was never invented?" Better say, what if the 356 was never invented, then the 911 would have come either. And I think this 356 really, thank God, thank Ferdinand Porsche that it was actually built. Because if you look at the sports car market nowadays, if you look at what cars do you actually see the most driving around nowadays, then it actually are the Porsches. I think the Porsches are the best-selling supercar or sports car brand, of course, because they also sell the Cayenne and the Macan and the Panamera. Those are actually way more sold than the 911. But yeah, even if you also look at racing nowadays and all the racing classes, like I'm doing now, Porsche always dominates. It's a race car, it's built to go fast, it's built nice to take some corners. And that's what this car, like all the Porsches, they do great. I haven't driven that much other Porsches. I've driven the Taycan, the electric one. But yeah, if you can call that a Porsche, but I really felt when I was driving that car that the steering of the Taycan was very good. It was yeah, like a Porsche should be, like you would imagine. With a nice dancing horns on. It should feel like a bit of braking here. Then let's go on the highway. For the small, short, sorry for the song guys, but I only hear a bit of a cool car.
150 on the highway, almost 140, but I think that's not about it. I think the top speed was 145, like I said, maybe a bit faster, depending on how the weather is. But it's a car to cruise in, it's a car to just drive on some country roads even. And that's what this car doing great, just making you smile even at low speeds, just playing a bit with the gearbox, hearing the car shift. And I quite enjoy it, to drive it. I've driven it once before, I think it was like 2 summers ago. I did like a small drive with my dad that I got the chance to drive it. And yeah, I want to say a very big thanks of course to him for making it possible to yeah, let me share this car with all of you guys. Bit of a speed bump here. And even congratulations to him for owning one. It maybe isn't a real one, but yeah, the thing is, if you would buy a real one, would you still drive it that much? I don't know, maybe if you have the money of course. But I think if you're yeah, just a working guy and you enjoy cars a lot, then I think this replica Porsche, there are built I think more replicas since back in the day than the original 356 Speedsters, because everybody wants the cool looking Speedster Porsche, and I can get by. It's a very fun car to drive. It's a perfect Sunday car to take for a small drive even on a hot summer evening. It does that great. And I quite enjoy to drive it. I also want to say Happy Father's Day to my dad and to all the other dads out there. And I also want to say to a lot of you, I'm getting a bit better and better in making videos, even in flying the drone. If you maybe have a cool classic yourself or a cool sports car that you would want a video of, that I can make a review and a test drive about, you can always comment it down below. You can also send me a DM on Insta if you're interested, if you want a cool video of your car. I try to do as best as I can to make the videos cool and good looking. And I of course love to share cars, of course sports cars and cool cars like this. But yeah, if you have sort of a special car, it doesn't need to be a car of 100,000 euros. It can be just a cool car you modified. And DM me, maybe I'll come by and make a video from your car. And yeah, there are cool things planned also. Maybe tease you guys a bit. I think next week there is the Coupe passing by here in Belgium. I think next Monday it is. And of course I'll go check it out for you guys to see all the Coupe cars driving around, to see Sumi 150 and other YouTubers like I am, to meet them. It's quite fun. So that's the coming video probably, and then another quite fun test drive to come. I'm very proud to say even that I got the chance to drive an SL AMG, the new 63 AMG. So that's another video that's coming. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe on the channel, because there are of course a lot more cool supercar videos to come, classic car videos and luxury car videos. So yeah, please hit the subscribe button, get your notification bell on, and yeah, enjoy watching the videos I post weekly, guys. It mostly isn't a boring car. And also go to cool events. I'm going to Goodwood this summer. Also an event I'm looking forward to. Going to Spa-Francorchamps even also. So a lot more cool videos to come if you're interested. Here another classic. Always nice, always wave if you see another classic. That's how we roll. Just as the bike guys stretch their leg, they put their hand out. also like the sound when you shift back. Sometimes it pops a bit, like you know the pops and bangs on cars. This is actually original, guys. This is what it should be.